Mhm. I hope everybody can hear us and see us. We are talking between ourselves. So, okay. So more participants are joining, I can see.
And Katrina, and yeah, there are answers that they hear and loud and clear.
Oh, nice to know.
Okay, so we are recording and we're okay. Elise also says that she can hear us. Great.
Okay, I think we can start. It's 12:30, so hello everyone again. And thank you for joining the second session of today's series. So, and it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Lauris Grāvelis, who is head of supply at Printify, and he is fully a startup person and really with lots of experience in that field. And before we listen to Lauris' presentation, I would like to remind you to leave your questions in the chat box. And also just a short introduction with my colleagues. So Eva from BAFF Estonia, Ingrida from Lithuania, and I don't see, but maybe Ilze Doshkin, our regional director, is joining as well. So this is our BAFF team. Okay, I think we can start. Lauris, the screen is yours, so you can share your presentation with us, and let's go through the questions after your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Ilse, for introduction. It's really a pleasure actually to be in presentation and share my story. And I totally agree that I'm the startup person, and actually that's thanks to BAFF actually, because before I was a little bit doing different things, and because of BAFF and the opportunity to go to the US for 1 year, I got a chance to actually I got kind of addicted to the startup scene and the vibe of the community, so that I'm still, after the BAFF since 2014, I've been loyal to startups and different startups in Latvia. So I'm Lauris Grāvelis from Latvia, from Riga, being head of supply at Printify. And I will a little bit tell more about Printify and why it's interesting and why I'm here and why I enjoy working. So this is a screenshot from LinkedIn page, which is basically a must for every professional to have a LinkedIn page and to have entire professional and also social involvement history. This is the first place where usually if there are some job ads, job candidates, then this is the first place I'm checking. So, and I also will tell more about actually how I got to the head of supply and what was the journey. I'm with the company for 2.5 years now, and yeah, it's amazing actually to work. And our company is 130 people, and we're gonna grow even more this year. If many other industries have suffered from the economic crisis and COVID, then actually we have even higher growth than we anticipated in the beginning of the year. So everyone moves to the online. And I will just explain what we are doing. So we are the company that is tech company that does that organizes all the print on demand. So basically, here are some examples. These are not all products we are offering. but just to illustrate that basically you can place any design almost on any product. And this happens that we are making sure that anyone can put a design on different kind of products, and they can get printed and delivered to you or your customers. So, and we work we are fully IT company. We are not producing anything. We are making sure that everyone can create an e-commerce store and start selling any designs without investment. So they don't need to buy anything in advance. Whenever the first purchase comes in, then also we start to charge client. And maybe just to illustrate, actually, this is not a dry cleaner room. So this is our sample room. So we have actually a lot of samples. Most of the sales is t-shirts, and we have also different kind of printed things, yoga mat, then pillows, shoes, mugs, hats, backpacks, etc. So this is what we are keeping adding. We have more than 300 products, and I'm the one as a head of supply responsible for that. I'm responsible for making sure that it gets all printed. So, do you see my screen? Yes.
Yeah. Now it's good.
So that it all gets printed, and basically we are helping actually many online stores to sell these products. And last year it was so that we helped sellers to make 55 million in sales and 25 million in profit. And that was actually, this is basically a chart how it looks every year, and then previous year end result looks as tiny compared to next year. And basically this is where when I started. So I was a marketing project manager in the beginning of January 2018. Then I became product marketing manager in a year. Then I managed 2 teams, and now I'm head of supply. So actually almost every 3 to 6 months I have changed position and grown to where I am now. And basically this year I have to make sure that that 1 million worth products get printed. So this is fully on my shoulders, and I may admit that the time when many facilities in US were closed, and then I had a lot of work and a lot of worries to make sure, because orders came in, but we needed to also print and deliver to the clients. So and basically, if to summarize why I have grown or what has happened in the company, is that I have delivered results. So it is very important that you not only work, but also you provide results and provide performance. Then growth mindset, so that I think how to grow, how to develop myself, and how to do it the same with my team and my teammates. And also initiative, being active, proactive, coming up with ideas and making it move forward. So this is actually where I am now and what I'm doing, and I'm very happy to do this. But actually to get to this point, it actually takes a lot of time and efforts. And I want to share that story with you. So actually, how did I get here actually till the point where I am now as a professional, as a one who is responsible for 1 million product sales fulfillment. Is basically, actually, I come from next to Riga in one of the counties. So I'm not really a city boy or something. I come from the kind of near Riga, in a simple countryside school. Not that many students. Also, maybe the quality. It also saw that not much competition, not much not much students. So, and you feel at home and feel like in a family. And basically, I already in the 8th grade, when we started to study economics, introduction to economics, actually, I realized this is the thing I really like. All the business decisions and solving business problems is something that interests me. And actually, for this, my dream or my interest, I still haven't changed it and kept on moving forward with what I like. So, and then actually I went to the first gymnasium. It was my own will. No one forced me. No one told me to go there. I just asked for 2 lats from my parents, got paid for the exam, got previous year exam trial exams, filled them, showed to my math teacher. She corrected some things and basically went to the exam, passed it, and got in the first gymnasium. And then it actually were from the countryside school where you were the best one, sent to Olympiads, and everyone really appreciates talent and motivation. There you become one of all talents. So you are one of them, and you are not anymore unique. You are among many unique and talented students. And basically, yes, math and English was something. Actually, it was so that before that, I didn't know anything about SSU Riga or Stockholm School of Economics in Riga. So, and this is something that was told that, yes, all the best ones go there after the first gymnasium. And basically, I was very good in math, but my English was very bad. So English, I had in English one of the worst grades also. And I kept on studying at least 1 hour a day to improve my English throughout the high school. And yes, so I didn't have any private teachers or anything. It was self-discipline, self-work, because I knew that I want to apply and study in Riga. Yeah, so I got it. And basically it was a very turning point, actually, to a point that it gives a very good fundamentals for the rest of the life. And so I have some main takeaways from university, and this is something what I also encourage you when you have this 1 year to think about what you want to do, in which school you want to study. Then there are things to look at, and this is something that helps also later on in life, also finding in work, growing professionally and finding ideal job. So learning to learn. So basically the university taught me how to learn, and you need to learn all the time. You need to it's not important actually what you learn, but that you have this inner deed and drive to learn all the time, and that you learn from experience, you learn from books, you learn from friends, you learn from colleagues, and that this is very, very important. And especially now when everything changes so quickly, it was so that in the 7th grade, was the first time I sat next to the computer, personal computer, and it was a black screen and I had to code in DOS things. And now it's basically everything is in phone. And so you need to learn, adapt to the environment because it changes so quickly. Another thing is working hard, and this pays off. Those who are working hard, they get noticed. They get noticed by everyone. They get more successful because even with the best talents, you still need to develop and grow. And learning how to work hard and keep this inner engine all the time is very necessary. There's no kind of nothing comes easy. And another thing from the university is actually network, and this is what I appreciate most of from my university experience, is basically that I have so many professionals in business, in marketing, everywhere. I have a very good network. I know so many people, and this helps later on professionally within the industry I'm operating, and also in solving many other problems, because you don't live in an isolated way. And this is also my suggestion for also when you are choosing to study in abroad or to study somewhere locally, is that, well, if you study abroad, then if and want to work back home, then you lose all the network unless you work in a global companies and in similar industries. And this is also what I have heard from. I have many friends who have studied abroad, that when they come back to work back home, they need to build network from the scratch, from the very beginning, because they don't have these friends and course mates from university. And this is something to keep in mind. So yes, this is basically after my studies, I chose that finance is the thing I really want to do. So I worked for 4 years in consultancy, and then decided to go for my master's studies in Erasmus University Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And there I studied master in finance. So I wanted to specialize in what I was doing, to put my mind, practical knowledge also in theoretical framework. And it was great year, but afterwards is basically I realized I don't like what I can work here back in Latvia, but I want to work in Latvia. So then I applied for BAFF as an opportunity actually to shift to a little bit different field, more into startups, because it got very trendy. And so I got accepted by the BAFF and went for 1 year internship to US. And that happened from year 2013, 2014 for 12 months. And despite Washington, D.C. Is considered to be the political and non-governmental institution kind of epicenter, not only globally, but also not only in the United States, but also globally, then I got actually an opportunity to start in a startup incubator in a newly opened incubator in Washington, D.C. It was just 3 months. They even didn't know themselves actually what to do and how to do things. So it was great learning. Actually, one thing is that our startup incubator was startup itself, and also that they work with startups. And throughout the year, when I came, there were only 30 startups. That then by the end of the year, there were 200 more than 200 startups working in the place. So it was amazing growth there. And so it was 1776. It was in a normal office building, but the interior and everything was made kind of vintage style in a startup with open space, desks with a stage where our mentors coming, and it was very nice place. I was the only one from kind of Europe, so I was among all Americans in a real American environment. I also lived in a house only with Americans, so I was to some extent also a little bit isolated from everything, and it was a really great experience actually to be among Americans, to learn the culture and enjoy it to full extent. So this is our incubator space. So here's some workshop taking place. This is the team. And I was, in the end, I was responsible for managing cash flow for 30 million for this incubator. I was holding financial model and also helping to organize a huge global event where startups from all over the globe came to Washington, D.C. It was held for 1 week. And so, yeah, I say it was a great experience. I got this real American startup vibe, which is maybe not that easy to find it here because everyone is enthusiastic. They all feel 1,000% confident that their idea is worth $1 billion, and they can sell it even in the middle of the night. And this is the energy and the positiveness and openness to learn is something that really is needed, and I learned a lot from there. So yes, and basically besides all the professional learnings there were also some, since it was DC, so it had more opportunities to meet some famous people in Latvia. So it's the president, then prime minister, Prāta Vētra or Brainstorm, going to Los Angeles and going the Walk of Fame, going to the Canyon. Yes, so this is something also in addition to the professional things that you can explore. You explore a lot of what you can see in Europe in other places, or even traveling just for 3 weeks to the US, you can see this. And this is something you can feel and see and experience only living there. So there's one regret actually. So I was for 11 months for my internship. I had the opportunity actually to have it for 12 months and then 1 extra month for myself for traveling. So if I stayed for 12 months, then basically I would have met Obama. So he visited just after I left, and he visited our office and giving a speech, meeting the people, shaking hands and everything. So this is something kind of to regret, but it's all good. Yes, so this is about the professional experience. I think I have talked quite fast. So basically, I just wanted to maybe after like telling what I'm doing now and also my experience in the US, I wanted kind of tell you the learnings and the understanding actually what matters so much in the professional life, and maybe it will give you some thoughts how to how to decide what to do in your life and how to achieve what you have dreamt of. So basically, to summarize, actually, all my experience, I would see it as a growth, as a plant. I am the plant that is growing, mentally developing, learning, and gaining more experience. And there are so many factors that actually influence all this. So, and I would say that the soil is something that gives the reason to grow. It's motivation. So to have all the time the goal in mind, motivation to find energy, power, interests and everything. This is very important. If there's no motivation, then it's you stagnate. You're not moving forward. Then another thing is hard work. It's we have many talents, but actually there's no limit for developing any kind of skills. Even you don't have natural skills in this, you can develop everything, and for that one you need hard work, and sometimes also for kind of professional experience, there are some things you are strong and some skills you need to catch up, and for that one you need hard work and focus. Actually, this is something. If you don't focus on things you want to achieve, or you dilute your activities, doing one thing, other thing, and not really moving forward towards the goal, then you are not much moving forward. You are staying there. And if you work in parallel many things and you have many interests, and you kind of, it's like studying all different kind of subjects, but not really fully going deep in one knowledge. And so if you focus on one thing, develop, then it helps to grow faster. And there is water or some factors that help you to grow. It's teachers, and it's always good to find the right teachers or mentors who are helping you to grow, move forward. And this is something I can be very thankful that I had many good teachers in the right time who helped me, who showed the direction, and also now it's even kind of, you have so many experience, so many skills. I still have mentors and people who are helping to get to the next stage and to the next. And this is something throughout the life that you need later on, maybe not teachers, but mentors, and also supporters. So the ones that telling you that you can achieve things, telling that giving the positive vibe, and not letting your hands down when you can't succeed something, or you fail, or etc. There should be actually positive and encouraging people around you. Maybe they can't really help you, but they can give this positive emotional vibe and support. And to some extent, I can say that I've been happy that, and I also kind of make the circle around the bubble of positive people who are growing, developing, and trying new things, and just helping each other. So this is very important, and this also helps in life when there are some troubles and problems. So teachers and supporters are very, very, very important in life, besides self-motivation and self-esteem. And another thing, this from what I have concluded, maybe this is something what I learned in the US more, is basically competition is something that drives and gives the energy. And it is so that the Baltic countries are small, there are not that many people, and maybe competition is less, but we still need to maybe then not look locally, but look globally, that we are a part of the world, and then we are not anymore that strong and not anymore that big, and we need to fight for our place on this planet. So competition is something that really drives and moves you forward, and kind of not let you stay calm and relaxed, that it's all good, chill, but it drives you forward. So yeah, we have half an hour now I have talked. So there is one thing is what I usually do now is giving gifts for everyone. I give gifts as books, and I think as a gift to you or suggestion for you is to read one of my favorite books now, because it really helped me to put my mind together. It's Mindset. So, and it helps to change the way you think, how to fulfill your potential. And there are so many examples and ways how basically it tells about two types of people. And there are people who think that with fixed mindset, so they believe that you can't learn new things, as it is. So either yes, either you need to find the right fit and place, and it's basically that you can't do anything about the way how you think and how you work. And then there are growth mindset people who think that they can do everything as long as they put enough efforts, and that they can learn anything. It's like that an 80 years old person can learn how to swim, or you can always learn new things, and nothing is fixed. And if there are some problems, then this is something, not a destiny, but this is something you can still influence and change. And if you believe that you can influence factors, then it's easier and more positive way how to perceive the world, and that, hey, it's bad times or something, but you still have this hope that you can do this, but that this is not something determined, and you can't do anything about this. So this is something I really suggest to read. It's a good, easy read. It also for high school students. And there are also good examples actually from different people, idols or famous people we have, we know. So that's it. Thank you. I guess it could be so that we have questions, and if there's interest, I can jump back to some places and tell more something.
Yeah, the floor is open for questions. So please, if you have one, you can leave it in the chat box. And thank you for sharing your story. It's truly amazing and inspiring to hear. And while we are waiting for questions from audience, maybe one question from me: how to understand that startup field is something you are interested in, comparing to big organizations or companies. How to get this feeling that this is something I want to continue with and work for?
I guess there are some certain things that kind of maybe I didn't know in the very beginning, and I kind of stick like, hey, I like this one thing, and even not trying new things. Is I'm creative person. I like the business, and I don't like so much to stick to one way of doing things, and I get bored quite quickly. So in a startup sphere, it is so that basically no one knows actually how to do this, because for every company this is very different business models, very different ways how to achieve goals. There's no way to read anywhere or to learn from someone exactly what you need to do. So it's all about trying and getting like bumps in your forehead and just falling down and standing up and just moving forward. So I guess this is something maybe I learned later on, that with the interests and skill sets I have, this is something ideal area to work.
Okay, and we have few questions here. So how does entrepreneurship affect mental health? How to deal with setbacks? How to be inspired, basically?
Deal with setbacks mean like
well, I guess it means that how to get this inspiration to move ahead and to
well, I would say that I'm not entrepreneur, I'm more like manager. So I'm maybe less into like coming up with crazy ideas or something, but I'm good in executing good ideas. So, and I think it's basically, yes, sometimes if those entrepreneurs need to be so persistent, even like everyone says, especially in the Baltics, everyone says like, no, this is a bad idea or something. And in America, it's more like, yes, great idea, move forward or something. And that at the same time, then I guess in the Baltics, people, even like with more negative the environment around our community, people are those who are surviving with their ideas, they are much stronger because they need more even persistence to achieve something. In America, people are more positive, so they are encouraging, even they don't believe idea is good, they just like, yeah, this is great or something, move forward. Yes, so it's all about persistence, I would say, in entrepreneurship.
Thank you. And do you plan to create your own startup at some point?
Could be, yes. Don't have yet this. I guess there's need for this click when you're like, hey, this is the idea. If it's an enforced thing, then you can execute, but maybe it's harder to keep the persistence, because then you need super high level of belief in this idea. And if it's just maybe more enforced, or like, hey, oh, I looked and this is something good idea, but this didn't came fully from me, then it might not survive. This is just my personal opinion, but yeah. And in addition to this, basically, is I think still I can learn a lot. I have been in after BAFF, I've been in this is my fourth startup I'm working for. And basically they were in different stages. So the very first one was I was doing everything. I was in support, I was doing finance, I was doing marketing, doing everything. In the next one I was doing already marketing, and now it's getting more narrow and getting more to the more mature startups. And there are so many currently Printify is in a growth stage, so we need to grow bigger and faster. We know who are our clients, we know how to get them, but there are many different challenges how to grow and how to grow with the money and give the profits and the value to the bigger audience of people.
Thank you. The next question, are you still working with startups from the US that you started in the internship year? So that, do you still have the cooperation with them and strong contact?
Not anymore that much. But currently where I'm working the Printify, our market is basically US, mainly US. So it is so that I all the time work with our USA partners. So I have calls in evenings, late evenings, because then it's morning in the East Coast. And if some partners are in the Pacific Coast, and even arranging like for them 8:30 a.m., it means for us, for me, like 7:30 in the evening, or it could be even like 11 in the evening to have a call. And so there is I still haven't lost in a sense connection with the US, and we have many great partners, and we also expanding partner network. So I fully feel I'm working with like US in the US, and we are even considered more as a US company.
Okay, and another question comes also from startup person. Does your company use any green energy sources such as solar? Green energy.
Not much, and we are moving into this. We have this actually. We have joined the climate change activities. In a sense, we want to have more nature-friendly way of running business, to have more products that are nature-friendly. Also, material resource what we are using to have it nature-friendly, but just green energy is not much related. Mm-hmm. I have done actually. I think yes. After the BAFF internship, it was I was for summer school. Actually, I did the green energy topics. There was a program, Climate Kick, and Climate Kick in 3 countries: Germany, Switzerland, and Netherlands. And we had a lot. I had and it was entrepreneurship related, and also climate change related topics. So had a chance actually to learn a lot about climate change and all the solutions and everything this, and maybe less interested I was in the business part, because I kind of knew it, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm. And the question from Katrin, what were the main things that were new for you when living in the US? And do you have some tips that could help one make one's mind up when you can't make your decision?
Well, the thing is, actually, in the very, very beginning, I didn't want to go to the US, but I had some friends who had joined before to the BAFF. They told this is great experience, and then it's like, okay, I should go then also to the US. what I can say, new things are actually what you can see in movies and TV shows and everywhere. It is as it is. It's not exaggerated. Actually, the life is there, and how people act, how people culture, and how people behave. As you see it in movies, this is something. This is how it happens. From my like new things, as I mentioned before, is actually this American way of business is something I learned, and I was not fully aware of that before, and I like it. I I go actually once in half a year for business trip there, and I get this vibe of moving forward, positiveness, and all this, and this is something I get recharged every time I'm there, and I think this is something everyone should learn about this nice business communication, about thinking big, about trying things, even like everyone says like bad idea, but like this is something that is not common in Europe, and so but these were new things for me in US, and they are good and I like them.
Mhm. Thank you. And the next question is about the book. You mentioned the mindset, I guess. And you mentioned the book talks about two types of people. Is it possible that both type of people are needed? Like sometimes fixed-minded people are better to do some job than another type of people, and vice versa.
It could be so. Well, there are these two type of people. And I guess it depends on the environment, and these two type of people could feel well in if they are in the right environment. If they get in the wrong environment, then they usually are unhappy. So if fixed-minded person gets in the entrepreneurial environment where everybody thinks they can change, learn, etc., then it's very hard for that person to live in this. If the fixed-minded person lives in a very fixed, structured environment, everything is predictable, then it could be so that that person feels happy, and also that so there's no how so to say as long as person is in the right environment and chooses the right way of living, kind of the well-fitted way of living, then it's all good.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned also development mindset, how to develop it and keep it during harder times.
So yes, I guess this is something I mentioned. So it's about the growth mindset. So in harder times, growth mindset considers that I can still influence something. This is not the end of the world. It can improve, it can change, and kind of you look to the situation more positive, and then you kind of find this inner energy, inner motivation actually to move forward and try new things and get out of the situation. And growth mindset people usually in harder times kind of emotionally feel more comfortable. Maybe they still have some troubles and problems, but they don't think it's end of the world. And yeah.
And the next question is about your experience. So where were you working before studying in Netherlands? you said that you wanted to gain some theoretical knowledge in the field. You already had practical knowledge.
Yeah, so after Riga, it was in the first year I was working in a business consultancy company about EU funds for a year, but I had in mind that I want to move to the finance field. So, and then in a year, I found mergers and acquisition consultancy company that helps to sell, buy, or acquire companies. And it was Keystone Advisors. The company that had headquarters in Stockholm, Sweden. Then they had two offices in Tallinn and Riga, and I was working with another colleague in Riga. And then actually the crisis hit, the financial crisis, 2008, and it was very interesting in the very beginning to do all the company valuations, presentations, etc. But then after 3 years, I realized I have learned a lot of things, and that I want to move forward, and kind of I knew that I want to have a master's degree, and then I thought it's the right time actually to say bye and just go for studies. And then I fully devoted. I knew from the finance field what I want to learn. So when I went to Rotterdam, then it was not many subjects I had to study. So, but I selected the ones I want to learn, and yeah, it's very good that after some practical experience that you can also apply that practical experience and try to put it in theoretical frameworks, because usually sometimes it is so that you are doing some things but you fully don't understand why you are doing this or what is the theory behind this. And this was the goal, to kind of structure my mind and practical knowledge, and to have the master's degree.
Mm-hmm. And the next question is, how were the mass entry exams at SSC?
They were very hard, but I was trained actually in the first gymnasium. We were trained to from previous examples and test exams. So as I remember, there was a lot of speed. It was about the speed of calculating into the, yeah, it was crazy. I couldn't pass it now, I think.
Well,
it was
who knows? Okay, and let's move to the last two questions. So you said that very important is to find supporters and teachers. How to find them? Is there any other way besides networking?
Yes. So teachers, how it happened actually, how it happened with me, that I usually chose I like teachers who are strict and actually kind of more strict personalities. And this is also you kind of learn and you appreciate and try to do best. And one thing is definitely, I guess there are some programs, is if you don't have any one thing is you can, maybe one way of finding teachers or mentors is actually seek maybe through your siblings, maybe friends, some older friends in your network, the ones who are maybe studying, and they can help you and give tips and help you make right decisions. And there are also some programs where mentorship is provided. And for example, as a SSRIG alumni, I still give mentorship to the students. So I every year I have a student whom I meet. We discuss like what could be professional choices, what is interests, what are the interests, what to try, where to go for internship, how to find it, and give all these through my own experience and through my own network, give all these tips and help, and if help people to make right decisions, maybe make less mistakes. It's good to have mistakes and learn from them, but if all the time you have only mistakes, then it's harder to stand up and move forward and find this goal.
Thank you. Yeah. And the last question from our listeners: how hard was it to find common language with your colleagues in America at first?
That's a good question. It was kind of in the beginning kind of harder because I'm used to have a very straightforward communication, that you can openly say what you think, that you can openly show your emotions, and if you are sad, then you are sad, and everyone sees that. And in America, it's based, they are taught from the childhood that one thing is you have to always be polite, nice, even you say some negative things, you say it in a through the positive side, and I was like, okay, this is like and another thing is that they try to a bit hide the emotions more. So and for me then it was very hard in the beginning to read other person, so to understand like what that person means, or what does that person thinks about me. And it is harder. I'm more for the straightforward communication. I say what I mean, I say it, and yes, there have been situations when you say something and then afterwards you need to apologize, because this is not kind of, you need to adapt to the culture, not that you as someone from outside come and just, hey, everyone should be direct in communication with me, you should change the attitude and behave as I want, so I have to change.
So thank you very much. Truly amazing story, and thank you for sharing it. So I think this is it for today. Thank you to audience, and thank you for your questions as well.
How many people? I because I don't see how many.
Yeah, maybe we can show who is ready to show your faces. We can make screenshot and photo. Here's your listeners. You can see them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening and your questions. And
thank you. It's so nice weather outside, and that you decided to stay inside and in the middle of the day to listen. And I guess if you have some more questions, and maybe some, if you want to study business or economics and you need some advice or tips how to proceed with your future plans, then feel free to reach out to BAFF, and then they will connect with me, and I'm always happy to help and help you to make the right choice, and help your to make your life easier.
Thank you. And we will continue our BAFF talk series tomorrow, which is our last day. And we'll have a chance to listen to Ruta Labalaukite about investment, and Mina Karafin, construction and innovation and digitalization for those who applied. So you're welcome to join also tomorrow. So thank you very much. And
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Enjoy
Mm-hmm.
afternoon.